I just got my hands on the latest snapshot of Minecraft 1.17, and I thought, as I haven't played around with any of the snapshots to this day, it would be quite fun to test out a few of the new blocks and to test out a few of the new cave generations by actually constructing a base in one of the new caves, because that's what many people try to do, and I want to show you my approach to how I would do it and maybe give you a little bit of inspiration. I found this lovely cave right here, which has this natural, like, big ravine kind of opening, and I want to make this like a grand hall. Anyway, I'm just gonna start off by making this entire area look a bit more beautiful, and also some of the branch caves, if you can call them that. I really want to work with this cave and make different areas for different purposes. By the way, can we just appreciate that Mojang, again, after the Nether update, did a very great work with the sounds. I mean, listen to the deep slate sounds. That sounds so good. So, just as a bit of a progress update, I think when you would come in, it looks already very sweet. I used a lot of the variations all over the place, as you can see, to really show that this is a natural cave and that it kind of evolved over the years. Some stones maybe lost in color, or different types of stone have merged together over decades and millennials. And then I also added all of these, what are they called? Glow lichens? No clue what that is, but this plant is all over the place, and it gives off just a little bit of light. Like, very tiny amount, but it helps to make this area not seem as dark. After a little bit of decoration, I think this is now looking very cool. We've got our big old chandeliers hanging down from the ceiling. You know, they're a bit weathered already. It's an old cave. And I implemented a few lanterns in the wall, so they are semi-hidden once in a while, and they actually do look quite cool, I think. This area I would consider about finished as far as the decoration goes, but a thing I'd like to do is, because you enter right here, this needs something else. So I think this has a natural kind of bowl shape to it. So it would be a real shame if we would not implement a waterfall and a lake. So, just after 10-20 minutes, the entire waterfall and, well, some angry axolotls are now in. Well, the lake is done, the waterfall is done, and apparently axolotls seem to hate other water creatures. And you can see that everywhere where the water is, I also added moss now and then, just to symbolize that life always finds its way down, even in the caves. And, you know, humidity kind of spreads around the cave, and even in the areas where there isn't necessarily water, there are these vines that kind of grew over time. And that's also why there's a bit of moss on some of those stones. So this really ties everything together, this water feature down here. And it explains a lot of the stuff going on up here. So we have this lovely entrance area, and I think I said something about flying machine. That thing can go in here. So we have a beautiful futuristic entrance that doesn't fit the style at all. But, I mean, flying machines are dope. They are so cool. And just because the cave is old doesn't mean that you yourself, the player, have to be an ancient being that is a sorcerer living in the cave. You could also be maybe someone that is like Indiana Jones and discovers the cave and decides, hey, this place is nice. Oh my goodness! I didn't realize that fish would spawn in here. Oh, that is a problem. Well, I might just have to kill off the ocelots. Oh, not ocelots. The axolotls. Because if fish do spawn in here, this is going to be causing lag because of all the dead fish entities around. Yeah, I think that looks pretty sweet. So what we're gonna do now is build a bedroom. But what bed would fit in a cave? I'm thinking possibly green, because green and gray seem to be the two main colors of the build at the moment. Now this looks alright, but I think it's missing something. And that missing bit is the human element, because cave-wise I like it, but there's not enough human element. The only thing we currently have are some random piles of candles and a bed. So to tie this together, I think we will use a bit of wood. To fit this cave, I think spruce is gonna be the one. And one thing I just want to do right now, because there are the new type of item frames, being the glow item frame, I'm just gonna add one for the elytra. So you kind of have a backup, or your elytra just hung up on the wall to signify your wealth. While we are on the topic of wealth, why not go all out on that? And have maybe a display window of how rich you are. Being possibly this area right here. So if we just make a big pile of your diamond blocks right here, then everyone who enters your base is immediately gonna see, wow, that man is rich. Love it. And of course, to secure them, we do kind of need to seal them off. So we're gonna make use of the new tinted glass. I believe that's gonna really look amazing in this scenario right here. The way I want the path to look when you're going down here is, again, wood. I want to build like an old type of bridge that almost looks like it's falling down any second now. And you kind of swing around through all of this area right here. I imagine that's going to be pretty steep. But hopefully we can pull it off. I think it's doable. Well, again, a little bit later, I think I pulled off what I wanted to do. Took a lot of inspiration from Good Times with Scar on this one, with all the trapdoors implemented into the actual bridge. And this dangling thing, which looks like you can hit your head on, but you can't. I love this feature. It looks so cool, and it really adds something. So to tie this entire bridge together, we're going to add a few light sources to make it look like this is the intended way to go down, which is of course what it is, right? But I think this is gonna really sell it. So the natural focal point is now also decorative and accessible. When walking down here, you can have a look at the fishies, at the absolute army of cod. I don't know why there are so many down there. Holy smokes. But once you make your way down here, I think the practical approach would be to have the storage system in this area, because that is about the most important, or second most important thing in your base. We're gonna make a second walkway from this place through to this place. And over here, we may as well have the storage system implemented into the walls. So you kind of go down and grab what you need on the way. And I gotta say, I wasn't that excited for the cave update. But the more and more I build and the more and more I discover, I can't wait for it. It's looking so dope. And I think I will just, in Blockhead Season 2, if you don't know my series, check it out. It's a SMP series. I will build a cave base, because we want to start Season 2 after 1.17 dropped. And how could I not? At least my starter base is going to be inside of a cave. We need to either do something with this area or seal it off. Let's maybe just swap some of this out and then seal it off so we can have an enchantment table in this area. To really sell the fact that this is going to be our enchanting table setup, I think what might be a cool idea is to make use of the new amethyst variations. I know you are not able to bring them to a different place, but still, if you would maybe decide to build a cave base, you could also come across one of those special amethyst caves and set your enchanter table up in there. Oh, such a beautiful sound when they play, oh my goodness. So we have the respawn anchors, then that goes over into crying obsidian, and that transitions over into the other new amethyst blocks, and that kind of shows that the magic is spreading out from the table, but hasn't yet fully enclosed the entire cave. It's just this area that has been covered by magic, and it's slowly taken over the cave. I love this. I love this. It really makes the base feel alive and like there's a story to it. Imagine if you are some type of Indiana Jones discovery guy and you find this cave, you make it your home, you use this as your central walkway downwards, and then you find this naturally magical cave which had these crystals in it, and you kind of transform it into your enchantment setup, and with every enchantment the magic of the cave gains strength and expands until eventually the entire thing is gonna be pink and magical. Oh, I love stuff like that. This is looking so cool. Well, not gonna lie, I thought it would be not easy, but it would be easier to fit in a storage system into this area. But the truth is, it is pretty tough. It is not the easiest task in the world. So, the way I maybe want to do it is by just chucking chests around. Does that take away... I feel like this takes away a lot from the actual cave look. So I think we will just have this way as kind of a transition to the next part of the cave, more than anything. And over here, we can make... Well, firstly, we can make a nether portal happen. Then we can have a storage hall off in this direction. Hey, if I would be in survival right now, I would be over the moon. There are some diamonds. Let's see. How big is this vein? One, two, three, four. Oh, a decent 4. So then again, one jump cut later, I have installed a little bit of storage in here. After carving all of this out, I chose to use barrels just because they also look pretty cool as a floor in my opinion, and you can hide storage in there, and you can have a big wall and a block above doesn't hinder it from being opened. So this is all very nice, and I added some decorative chests all around that you can hopefully all use. Yep, yeah, you can. And also an ender chest just in the middle. I think this is super cool as a storage system, and it fits the theme with the spruce inside of the cave so well. So the last thing that I want to do is a fancy looking nether portal. That should now, when we light it up, be a working nether portal. Yes, it is. And we now have access to the nether dimension. And once we decide that this place stinks, we're just gonna jump back in, and we are back in our lovely cave. The only thing that is left is the slime block flying machine to take us up and to make an entrance possible. So let me just quickly construct that one. The construction of a flying machine later. Here we are, in a lovely ocean. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily build a platform that ugly, but I needed immovable blocks, and I just chucked some obsidian in because everything really is about the cave, and this is just functionality. And I thought at the end of the video I might ruin the aesthetic with this awful looking obsidian cube. But it does work when we... Oh, goodness me, what's broken now? Well, when you're not really into redstone and you can't figure out why something doesn't work that you thought it would work, it's frustrating. So, I'm just gonna do it... Oh god, this is embarrassing, but I'm gonna do it this way, and then we just jump on in. I don't understand pistons, but we make our way down into the cave. There we are. And we can now exit the elevator, which is pretty ugly, but you gotta look in this way, right? You gotta see the beautiful parts of the cave. And we have this nice entranceway that kind of leads us to our necessities, being our 2 beds, our netherite or diamond armor, and we have this lovely area for all our necessities that we need each and every day when playing Minecraft. Then the cave continues to our richities, which we can admire through this wall of glass. And then the focal point of the entire cave is this big open area with chandeliers and a water feature down there with some very athletic cords that swim up this waterfall. And we do have this lovely bridge that looks like it's going to fall down any second now, and it's only being held up by these beams. Continuing downwards, we have the massive sorceress area with our enchanting table, and the magic is really starting to spread out and take part of the cave for itself. And the last area is down here, where we just have this beautiful slope kinda tunnel thing. What would you call that? So it kinda goes into what feels like the basement of the cave even. And there we have a lot of storage space and also access to the nether. So I feel like this is a pretty cool base to be living in 1.17, and I feel prepared and also very inspired to build one of these bases. And with that, I want to say goodbye to you now. Thanks for watching today's Minecraft video. Maybe I could actually inspire you into your own Minecraft 1.17 cave bases. That would be sweet. But for now, that's gonna be it. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.